Hi everyone, I'm Claire with BELLA+CANVAS. First, we want to say we hope that you and your loved ones are safe, and secondly, we hope that your business is hanging on. And with that said, we have been in talks with our friends at the Ink Kitchen, Ryonet, and Impressions, and together we just wanted to create a sense of community for everyone in the decorating world to come together and talk about what's going on. So that's what this video is. It's a raw, honest conversation. So with that said, thank you to all of the decorators out there and shops that have contributed to this. And let's get started with the first question.
I feel exhausted.
I think confused.
Broken is the word I would use to describe how I am feeling personally.
One word is resourceful. We're going to have to be very resourceful. It's in everyone's interest to work hard and come together, and I see people doing that. I have heard from some of my vendors, and I think they're going to give the kind of support that'll get us through this together.
Our community's been helping each other out a lot by coming together to support small businesses in the small ways that they can.
The community of Fort Worth has been pretty cool. We've seen a lot of people shift their ways of doing business. We're seeing a lot of people raising money for each other in different ways. Obviously, there's a lot of industries that have not been affected by this yet. So some of those guys have a little bit of money in their coffers to help support other businesses.
The community in Oklahoma City is stronger than ever. I've been so encouraged by the grace and the understanding and the willingness that our hardworking and determined Oklahomans are putting forth. Our business is 7 years old. I've never faced anything like this.
My business has faced something like this before. The recession of 2008, one of my biggest customers left with no notice. We went from 60 employees down to 2, and it was a real struggle. With the big differences being this is life and death, and that was not life and death. And the second being that this is going to be easier in one way, and that we're all going through it together, and that time I had to go through it myself.
My business has never been through anything like this before. When we lost about 70% of our expected revenue in one day for the next month or maybe longer, I had to make the really difficult decision of laying people off, and it just hit me how much not just my own family, but how many other people rely on this business for their livelihood. That was really stressful.
As time goes by, I'm looking for the bright side. I'm looking for the silver lining. And I'm encouraged. We're going to get lean. My team is becoming more and more a part of the conversation, and they know what it takes to run a small business, or they're learning what it takes to run a small business. And I think we'll be better because of this. I'm encouraged.
I think our biggest challenge right now is cash flow. There's not money coming in. We have a lot of receivables that are for bars and restaurants and businesses that have been shut down. So obviously those checks probably aren't going to come in anytime soon. So just figuring out how to pay our bills is the most difficult thing that we are facing right now.
My biggest challenge right now is that we mainly print for schools, restaurants, and events. And so with none of that happening for the next foreseeable future, I'm worried about keeping the lights on and paying my rent at my business. So I'm hopeful for some sort of aid packages to materialize for small businesses.
The biggest challenge right now is to keep everyone safe. You know, people will talk about life and death. This is life and death. And if it's not for you or your friends and family, it's someone else's grandma or somebody's kid with asthma. You know, we have to all work to stop the spread of this. And so really extreme measures have to be taken, and double check that you're doing everything that way. And that's, I think, the biggest challenge right now, and everything else pales compared to that.
Our biggest challenge at Oklahoma Shirt Company right now is just deciding how we're going to survive this and weather this storm. It's my biggest concern personally is just the uncertainty of what's coming. Into the unknown, into the unknown, into the unknown.
I'm not sure the best way to get through this other than to be creative, think on your feet, be nimble, and move fast.
We're going to get through this with community, support of our friends, allies, and that's going to be hard because there's not going to be any high fives, no handshaking, no hugs, not even being in the same room. So we're going to have to stay together using our minds and our hearts.
We're going to get our hands dirty. We're going to buckle down. We're going to cut where we need to, and we're going to survive because that's what we do.
I do believe that our industry is going to get through this by using creative problem solving, by understanding that this crisis isn't going away anytime soon and that we need to get in front of it, adjust course, make changes, get creative, and I know that we'll all get through it.
You're not a villain. If you have to lay somebody off, you're not a failure. These are all things that I'm having to tell myself and come to terms with, but I would say just, man, be integritable and be honest.
My advice is to cut as many expenses as you can, go through all of your subscriptions and all types of things like that you're spending money on that you probably don't realize, and then just keep your head up to the best of your abilities. Try to be distracted. I've been doing a lot of cooking at home, and up here, clean your presses, do things like that take time that you need to do anyway, keep you distracted while we wait for better days to come around.
My advice is to get a disaster plan written down if you haven't already. Mine includes things like our priorities, sales plan, marketing plan, our financials, who we owe money to, and what order we're going to pay people. So it helps to have a plan in place, but also my city announced some emergency funding for small businesses, and there was a 48-hour window to apply for it, and you had to have a disaster plan included in that. So having it all ready, I made a few adjustments and sent it off.
Hold on to every bit of cash that you can, extend payments. Secondly, don't take any kind of loans or any kind of credit cards that you can't pay later and you get screwed. Hold on to your friends very closely. You're going to need your friends. That's friends in business, your personal friends. That's what gets you through these things. It's to stay connected to people that care about you and for you to take care of them as well.
Stay strong, swallow your pride, reach out for help, and open up to the other people that are around you. If you don't have screen printer buddies in this industry, now is the time. And we're chatting with each other, and we're bouncing ideas off each other. We're lamenting, we're crying, we're laughing, all of the things. So just don't go through this alone. Nobody is, and if you are, that's wrong. So open up, be a little vulnerable, be transparent, and you can't kill us. We're gonna make it.